Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, our show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. If you are a subscriber, I'm back. I am back. If you're a new subscriber, man, do me a favor. Click the like, share, follow button. We appreciate that, man. Definitely back from vacation. It's been a good summer. Birthday, my wife's birthday. Got to travel out of the country. Good time with the kids. Kids got to go to New York, some things like that, man. So, a good blessed summer. I'll say that. My son's going into his senior year. So that's enough said. Any parents dealing with kids that are getting ready to graduate, you already know what I'm going through. Daughter's going to sophomore. They're both in cross country right now. I got a big meet on Friday. North Carolina is supposed to be like the biggest one in the Southeast, so I'm pretty excited about that. And we've got a lot of things going on in sports. Man. We mainly cover college football, pro football, basketball, a little bit of college basketball, and definitely the WNBA. We're going to start right there with the WNBA. I just finished watching the Connecticut Sun and the Seattle Storm, and I got to say, the Storm, I was very impressed. Very impressed with the Storm. They were on the road. They're kind of an up and down team, which I think most teams are. They're kind of finding their rhythm after the Olympic break. You know, when you're missing pieces like that and you have a big break in the middle of the season, it may take a while to get going, but the Storm looked good. The Storm looked great. Defensively, they look great. Connecticut's been up and down. They had the big trade with Mabry, and I took her in prize picks today. She definitely let me down. I think she had 5 points or some shit. But I digress on that situation. But overall, she's been a great pickup. I think the last 5 games she's been in double digits, just having a really good, solid performance off the bench. But today, I think Seattle kind of attacked that. Every time she was on the court, Skylar Diggers was attacking her. Jewel Lloyd was attacking her. She stayed in foul trouble. Alyssa Thomas is a great piece, great player, just not so much of an offensive threat. She does do a lot of things. She does set offense. Great rebounder, really good defender, elite passer, but just doesn't put the ball in the hole enough, and I think that kind of hurts them. We'll see how it plays out in the playoffs, but I think the team to beat is the Liberty right now. I mean, I know the Aces are the defending champs, but I think the New York Liberty is the team to beat with Ionescu, Breonna Stewart, and Jacquel Jones. Just that core, I think they got what it takes to definitely win. But we'll see how the playoffs shake out, man. Indiana Fever have been streaking. I think they've won 5 of their last 6 games, or maybe 4 out of 5. Got them in sixth place right now. The Sky are holding on to the 8th place lead. They play the Aces tonight. The Aces are still around. I love Asia's approach, wearing the white tees until they, consistently string together some wins. That's leadership. That's somebody who's won a championship. She's definitely the MVP front runner. Collier is up there, and I think they said Ionescu and maybe Breonna Stewart, but I think Asia is the clear favorite for WNBA MVP. I still say Dejanay Carrington is definitely the defensive player of the year. A lot of people want to give it to Asia, and, she's a great defender. A'ja Wilson is a great defender. There's no doubt about that, but I don't think she has the toughest job as Carrington. As far as, the people that she has to guard. Carrington has to guard on the perimeter and switches. A'ja is mainly down low. And there's some great talented players down low. I'm not saying that she's blocking a lot of shots. She's definitely being a force on defense. Me personally, if I had a vote, it would go to Dejanay Carrington for defensive player of the year. But the Sky are streaking a little bit. They actually started off, not Sky, I'm sorry, the Atlanta Fever. What is they shit? I don't know. I can't remember it. Y'all already know, man. Come on, man. It's my first episode back. I'm stoned. But Atlanta with Alicia Gray and Tina Charles and those good ladies. They've been playing some good basketball lately. They might sneak into the playoffs. Like I said, the Sky are holding on to that 8th seed. I don't think they're much of a threat without the consistent guard play. Kennedy Carter's been in and out of the lineup, and I think that's hurting them a lot. And missing Mabry. As much as she may have not got along with everybody, You're missing that offensive punch. They've had some girls who stepped up and played well, but I just think it's kind of a lost cause. I mean, Cardosa and Reese are great, but they're going to need more than that, man. They're going to need more than that. Well, that's all we're going to do on the WNBA, though. That's all I got. Y'all want me to cover something else, man, put it in the comments. We're going to move. Oh, you know what? My bad. We're going to go real quick to Sheryl Swoopes and this Caitlin Clark shit. This has been an ongoing theme all year. I don't want to keep beating it across the drum. People hating on Caitlin Clark and all this, or this person saying this person is hating, and the Caitlin Clark fans going back and forth. I don't want to get into all that. What I do want to say is this. Sheryl Swoopes should be ashamed of herself. Not ashamed like, oh, I shouldn't have the thought to not think that she's the player that everybody says. That's fine. You know, you're all-time great. Have that thought. But the fact that you are actually trying to play the victim, like you're not saying the shit that you're saying. You went on Gilbert Arenas' podcast and said that girl was 25 years old playing against 20-year-olds. You said she didn't break the record in the same amount of time. She actually broke it in less time than Kelsey Plum broke the record. Had no problem with Kelsey Plum. And then on your podcast, you're talking about how the Indiana Fever are playing great, and you don't even mention her name. Like, you call out Lexi Hull, who has been playing amazing. You call out Kelsey Mitchell, who has been phenomenal. Aaliyah Ball. You call out everybody on that. Like, you are doing this shit to yourself. You know, you don't need my advice. You clearly don't care about what anybody thinks, but you look like a bitter, hateful ass woman right now. You do. Yeah, and I don't give a shit how that sounds. I have the utmost respect for Sheryl Swoopes. I think what she did for the women's game should be heralded. It should be the praises should be sung to her all the time. But it makes it, you making it hard for people to do that when you're doing goofy shit like this. Like, no matter how good Caitlin Clark becomes, it doesn't take away from what you did for the game at all. So why even have that approach? But again, it's something personal. And then you making it obvious that you rock with Angel Reese, and that's fine. But don't get in the media. Stay out of that space, because this space is not reserved for people to have favorites. LeBron James is one of my favorite basketball players of all time, period. I've had a lot, but he's definitely I would say, number one guy. That don't mean he can't get criticized. That don't mean he can't get called out when he's wrong. And I wasn't a huge Kobe Bryant fan, but if I was doing this podcast when Kobe was alive, rest in peace, I would have had to call it out and say, hey, listen, man, Kobe had a great game. He's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. You can't play the homer role and disrespect people and then think it's okay and then try to play victim. That's just kind of goofy to me, man. We did have a little bit of controversy in the NBA. We're going to switch gears here, but we're going to actually go to women's college basketball. Women's college basketball had a little bit of controversy this weekend. Ashley Watkins of the University of South Carolina was arrested on various charges, one of them including assault, one of them including kidnapping. I've heard that there is a video of the incident. Haven't seen it. Don't know exactly what happened. Not passing judgment either way. Okay? Not passing judgment either way. I'm not sympathizing and I'm not criticizing. But I am a little disgusted to see some people on my timeline on Facebook who I consider friends, and they're big USC fans. You know what I mean? They're ladies and men, but they're big USC fans, and to hear them immediately sympathize and to hear some people immediately criticize. And I say that because I feel like that's a problem with our community. And I'm not talking about just the black community. I'm talking about just sports community in general. How can you sympathize with that situation and you don't know what happened? Like, unless you were one of the girls that were there, or you know Miss Watkins or one of the other girls who was involved with the situation, you know for a fact and you saw it with your own, how can you sympathize? They're saying that she put her hands on the student in a forceful way. If that was your daughter, would you have that same type of sympathy? Would you automatically be speaking, oh, they just jumping up the charges, blah, blah, blah. They need to let her go. She'll get past this. Would you want the university to take that approach? Would you want Dawn to take that approach? And again, I'm not saying that she should, because I don't know what happened. I'm just, playing devil's advocate as far as the thought process into what goes on. I'm a University of South Carolina women's basketball fan. That's it. men too. I'm rocking with the guys too, as far as basketball is concerned. Pause. But I'm not gonna just immediately sympathize with Ashley Watkins because she plays for the University of South Carolina. There's another scenario to that. The other scenario is I'm not gonna immediately criticize either. I'm not gonna be screaming and picking the signs, oh, kick her off the team and blah 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 and all this other bullshit. And I don't know what happened. If I don't know what happened, who am I to actually speak on that? To me, that makes absolutely no sense. If I don't know what happened, I shouldn't be sympathizing, and I definitely shouldn't be sympathizing on social media, man. So some of y'all need to check yourself. Y'all got daughters. I seen them. If she would have put her hands on your daughter and you were in that situation, if that actually happened, you would have a problem. You would have a problem with that young lady taking the court this year, if she does. You know what I'm saying? And again, we don't know. The Front Office Podcast, I want to make this very, very clear. I am not passing judgment either way. I don't know. I don't know. All the information hasn't been put out for the media or for public. Like I said, I heard it's a video. That may be a lie. You know how shit goes in Columbia, South Carolina, just about anywhere in the world. You know what I mean? People say this, people say that. We're not going off hearsay. So until I get some facts, no judgment. I hope everybody involved with the situation comes out okay and everything is resolved. All right, and that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to move on to my man Anthony Edwards, man, who had a little bit of a controversy statement himself. It's got some of the older NBA guys up in a row. They feeling some type of way. Ant-Man is definitely one of my favorites right now. When LeBron retires, Ant-Man's going to be my guy unless something ridiculous happens between now and when LeBron retires. That's the guy I'm pegging as the next. Ooh, I got to practice this, man. Pause. That's not the guy I'm pegging. That's the guy I'm stamping as the next face of the NBA, in my opinion. Okay, that's going to be my next favorite player to follow is Anthony Edwards. But he made the statement of saying that there wasn't really a lot of talent around when Jordan played, which was terribly said. And it was probably clipped up just right by whoever needed to get viral and go viral and say whatever. Or maybe he did say it. I don't know. I don't know if he actually said those words, but it definitely was clipped up that way. Bad statement. That part of it is false. Yes, there was a bunch of talent. I'm pretty sure Anthony Edwards is well aware of that. I think what he is saying, and I do agree with, is that there's more talent now. And there is. There just is. The game isn't played the same way. Who's the 4 guy when Jordan was around shooting threes? You probably can call 1 or 2 guys that, would shoot threes and shoot them pretty consistently. Hell, if you can't shoot the 3 now, and you play 4, I don't think you can get on the court in the NBA. And that's a form of talent. That's just showcasing how expanded and how offensive the game is right now. So I don't think it should be taken as a dig, but I understand the older guys feeling some type of way. I think it was either Elliot Perry. I think he was doing a pod and said, all this dribbling around and we didn't do that and we still getting 20 points. Well, the game was played different back then, bro. Like your 4-man couldn't handle the ball, so why would he be dribbling around? The only people that handled the ball was the point guard, the 2 guard, and the 3. If you played power forward or you played 5, you got the ball when they gave you the ball. Now the 4-man gets the ball and pushes it down the floor. When Shaq did it back then, it was amazing because look at this big guy get up and down the floor and he can actually handle the ball. Now that shit is like normal. Look at Joker. Joker runs offense, bro. They run offense through Embiid. I'm not saying that there weren't talented players or all-time greats with Jordan, but there is more talent, in my personal opinion, in the NBA than it was back then. No knock to Anthony Mason and the big, like the Charles Oakleys and the guys who enforcers, Antonio Davis, those guys were good, very, very, very good players. I can't sit here and tell you that I believe that those guys are just as skilled as a Jokic, a Chris Bosh type player, Kevin Love, the way, with the shooting ability. It is different. They were skilled different ways. Their body was built differently. They were looked upon as being more of an enforcer. So I kind of understand where he was coming from, but of course, everybody gets in their feelings. And it caused a little bit of stir, man. But it'll be fine, man. The NBA season don't start till October, so it's all good, man. But the shit I've been dreading getting to, we're going to move off basketball for just a second. We got the NFL back this week, baby. Thursday night, Baltimore Chiefs. Going to be a great game. My Vikings, I'm not excited about the season at all. Our first-round draft pick is out for the year, our quarterback, and we are working with 3 backups. So we're going to need a lot of help. But just in general, I'm super happy about the NFL season. But we're going to get to college, who has actually played 2 games. Everybody's played 2 games, or just about 2. We've played 2. Florida State. I'm a Florida State guy, and I'm going to just be honest with you, man. I'm embarrassed. I'm upset. I'm pissed off. That team doesn't look ready to play. Now, I didn't get to watch the game last night against Boston College because my wonderful AT&T service decided to go down and be down for 24 hours. So AT&T, I'm absolutely calling y'all asses tomorrow about getting the credit because that was some bullshit. Excuse me. But the game I saw against Georgia Tech, what I saw, DJ wasn't horrible. He wasn't horrible. He wasn't Jordan Travis. You know, Jordan Travis had been in that program for a long time, running that offense for a while. He was way more comfortable. DJ still looks unsettled. And you can see some good things that he does, but not enough instincts. And we just seem to start slow. We started slow against Georgia Tech. From what I could keep up with online, we started slow against Boston College. Defensively, we're supposed to have one of the best defensive lines in college football. I can't tell. Like, we cannot stop the fucking run. So everybody's screaming, oh, DJ's horrible. He's ass. How about our defensive line stop the fucking ball? How about that? How about our secondary stop giving up chunk plays down the field looking like you don't know what the fuck what's going on? I think it's enough blame with what's going on in Florida State to pass that shit around. I don't think it goes on one person. I don't think it's just on Norvell. I don't think it's just on DJ. I don't think it's just on the defense. I think everybody should get some of that blame, and all those players should take that shit personally and put a better product out on the field. Because the shit that's out there right now, I wouldn't buy that shit for a penny. It looks fucking horrible. We look like the worst fucking team in the ACC. And I've only seen 4 teams play. We look like the worst fucking team. So, Norvell, Florida State players, get your shit together, man. Gut check time, man. I don't know what the fuck y'all need to do, but y'all need to fix that shit immediately. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina, so I have to cover the Gamecocks. I have no issue with Gamecock players, the program. It's just not my favorite team. You know, I don't wish nothing bad on you, but some of y'all fans, man, y'all make it that way. It was some Clemson fans trolling when we lost to Boston College. I'd like for y'all to remember that you motherfuckers got dog walked on national TV real close to home, right there in Georgia. So, you know, maybe have several fucking seats and don't say shit because y'all didn't look no better than we did, and y'all lost by a lot. Florida fans been talking shit. You should not talk for the rest of the season. Miami players were literally recruiting the guys that y'all brought down there to recruit as they were walking out the stadium after they smoked y'all by 30-plus fucking points. All this shit here, shut the fuck up. You know, Miami is the only threat right now I see in Florida, and they look good. I can't front. Miami looks like they're the best team in the ACC, without a doubt. Now, I don't know if Florida's that bad or Miami's that good, but that's what I saw. So, you know, we're going to see how that plays out. Carolina's got a tough schedule, man. Carolina has a tough schedule. They play Kentucky this weekend, and I think LSU in the next 2 weeks. Barely beat Old Dominion at your home opener. That was a little embarrassing. Like, I watched that second half, and it just was not impressive whatsoever. So, you know, but it's early. 12 teams in the college football playoffs, man. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I did want to get a quick episode in before, you know, NFL Sunday. I'm going to drop another one on Tuesday after we've gotten all the NFL in and we can see exactly what's going on. We're still going to touch on the WNBA. Also, shout out to my guy Brent, man. He came through. My homie owns Lifestyle Clothing. Got this hat from him and a lot of other stuff. Some shorts, some shirts, a couple of hats. Solid brother, Eastover brother, man. I love him to death, man. That's my guy. So shot with him, man. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you can think of, he's definitely on there, man. Lifestyle Clothing. Shout out to him. Tees and Trees. I hope y'all like the new logo, new shirt. You know, I told y'all, man, we coming. We pause, Jesus Christ. I told y'all, man, we are definitely gonna be doing some bigger things this year, man. More guests, new background, new everything. This is just gonna be one segment of what we trying to do, man. I hope y'all can stick around for the vision, man. Again, the subscribers, I appreciate y'all, man. Comment, talk to me, I talk back. If you're new to the channel, man, click like, share, follow. We appreciate you, man. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. T's and Trees of the Clothing Line. Peace.